Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
With the big, bold flavour of HP sauce, making breakfast legendary.
And this is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Alun Cochrane and Emily Dean. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website. Don't text us. I'll tell you for why we're not live. This me speaking now, actually happened on Thursday. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of falsity in the British media, but not here. We're not here at the moment. Okay? Where are we, you're asking yourself? Well, if there's any burglars listening, I'm at home oiling my Thompson submachine gun. Okay, good morning, morning Jim, morning Peter.
Morning.
Morning Richie.
Did you see, speaking of cricket, I suppose you were watching the England-West Indies second test this week?
I wasn't, no.
No. I think I might have been watching Millionaire Matchmaker on ITVB when that was on.
Oh, okay. Is that a cross between a Millionaire Cake and Matchmakers? So like, very small and slim but with toffee and the crumbly bit.
Good.
Yeah, you've nailed it. That's exactly what the format is.
Maybe when Just Sweets, maybe we could sell that as
Frank,
one
it's
of
never
our...
going to open, you have to accept that.
One of our signature dishes. No, anyway, I was watching. You know, occasionally one sees a spelling of a name that one has been familiar with over the years, spelt in a different way, and you think, how did the parents arrive at that baby? Mm-hmm. There's a player called Craig Braithwaite who plays for the West Indies. Braithwaite, as you'd imagine, because the surname's obviously, you can't really tamper.
No.
How would you guess he's spelling Craig?
Well, I'm worried he's gone K.
He's gone K, certainly.
No.
Has he gone K?
Yeah.
K?
It doesn't stop there.
Doesn't stop there.
Any offers?
K. W. Quig. Is it...
Yes, Roy Hodgson was commentating.
Yeah, is it KR?
It is KR. Shall I put you out your misery?
Craig.
It's KRAIG-G.
What?
That's double G at the end.
He's double G'd it.
They've not gone double G.
I mean, do these people, are they being wantonly different, or can't they spell?
Do you think he's done that, though?
I had this conversation with the registrar when I registered my son's name, and she says some people come in and say, we want to call them Samantha. And she says, how are you spelling that? And they go, oh, we'd hope you'd know.
Oh.
Difficult. Broken Britain? I don't think so.
You can't do the double G. Not even Craig David went that.
K at the beginning.
And he's a rapper.
Yeah. Anyway, good luck to the Braithwaites if they're listening. And they will be listening. They certainly won't be reading this on microfiche, judging by their spelling.
If you're Craig with a K, double G, the I will have, it will be a little circle.
Yes.
The I. Don't you think? Or a heart, maybe.
You know what? I do on my autograph, I do a circle over the I.
Oh, you don't, Frank?
Do. On the skin, I do. It's a homage to Walt Disney.
It's a bit raw variety show, isn't it?
Yeah, but it gives me something to do
You're so right.
When I've finished writing my name, I just think, I want to top it off with something now. So that's it.
Okay.
Anyone who's got my autograph at home, if it hasn't got that little circle over the I, there's a lot of forgeries on the market.
Not any forgeries.
There's a big black market in my my autograph.
300 quid that I paid for that Frank Skinner signature on eBay. Turns out, it's just a dotted I.
Do you think the person who started up an industry forging Frank Skinner's signature has also started up poetry news apps in order to make money?
It's funny you should mention that app, but we'll come to that later. I will say though that when I wrote my first book, you have to sign, but they give you 1,000 books to sign. And it's a lot. So I reduced it then to F. Skinner.
Oh, Frank, you didn't.
Which I kind of liked. There was something like filling in your school book. I really wanted it to have one of those stickers at the front with previous owners, and I was one of those.
You know, I told you when I got Frank Bruno's autograph, and it said, to Emma, love F. Bruno.
To Emma?
Yeah, love F. Bruno.
Oh, brackets, you know what I mean.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
I tell you something that I've come to depend on.
Oh, yeah.
The kindness of strangers.
No.
Non-alcoholic wine.
No. I'm getting a little bit depends. What's the word? Depensive, I wanted to say.
Dependent.
Dependent, thank you.
It's all right. That's what
thank you.
It's all right, Ethel, we're here.
I should recognise the word from the letters I keep getting from that solicitor in Birmingham. But one thing I've always relied on is in the soap world. Imperial Leather.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you're familiar with Imperial Leather.
Yeah.
It's been around a long time.
Even I'm familiar with that.
I can't put a date on it, but my dad used to say, I always remember, he must have said this to me 40 times, whenever Imperial Leather was cropped up on the telly, an advert or something. He'd say, that should be Imperial Lather. It's like someone at the factory saying, "Oh no, we've got all the boxes done now. We'll have to stick with it." Like it should be on sale in. One could argue, it should be on sale in World of Leather.
Yeah.
Lush, Lush.
Thank you very much.
You know that shop, Lush. Should that be called World of Leather, according to my dad's?
Yeah, it should.
Anyway, I'll leave these for you to chew over. But can you tell me the distinctive thing about Imperial Leather soap?
Yes, can I say it, Frank?
Yes.
There's a little square in the centre of it. Like an impression.
That's a sticker.
Yes,
is what it is.
sticker. What is that for? No, but it's impressed, isn't it?
Well, it impresses me. How it does.
It's indented, isn't it?
Indented,
Yeah, but there's a sticker on the soap which doesn't come off. How they manage that is beyond
it never
me.
comes off.
No. And what happens, and this is a phenomenon that has always fascinated me, is the soap sort of stays around it. So what you get is, as the soap gets smaller, it holds its own, the sticker. Oh. And so it forms a sort of a kitten heel on the bottom of the soap.
Right.
So it's got a base, and then it's got this little narrowing. It's a plinth. It comes with its own plinth. And when you put soap down, it's a bit... Sometimes I get in the shower and I'm all set for it. I can't get the soap off the actual tray.
Oh, yeah, when it's stuck.
And you feel such a fool.
Yes.
And
if there's ladies watching...
Well, there aren't. I have called our Polish cleaner in to help me with it a couple of times. I can tell she's not easy with it. She deliberately looks away. The way one does, when you're speaking, Alan, to a woman in a low-cut dress and you have to keep that locked eye-to-eye thing. She does that with me.
Can I say you're both very good at that?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks for noticing. And so the soap comes in like when you see a plane landing, when they can't get the wheels down, they have to come sort of belly flopping, sliding along.
Oh yeah.
So I've always loved the little plinth on Imperial. It keeps it above the mush on the bottom of the
it does.
Anyway, so I bought some this week.
Oh yeah.
Opened it. They've removed the stickers.
No.
Shut up.
Stickers have gone. Stickers are yesterday.
No.
Imperial Leather now just got like an embossed bit, like so many soaps have got in the middle that says Imperial Leather.
Overnight with no warning.
Yeah.
Where's the brouhaha? Where's the uproar?
Yeah, no, I haven't. It's the first. I'm not aware of it trending on.
There wasn't a press release.
There was an uproar about creme eggs switching to different chocolate.
Creme eggs.
Cadbury's creme eggs.
Correct. That's the correct pronunciation.
As Frank calls them.
Absolutely correct. But it was the one distinctive. All the soaps, pretty much, they meld into one another. I know I've put them in an enormous saucepan and tried it.
Yeah.
But that was the one different thing.
I couldn't agree with you more. It was a leader in its field.
I wouldn't mind betting it's some sort of health and safety thing. Someone's sustained some sort of wound from the sticker corner. And...
it's economy drive as well, Frank.
Do you think they've finally used up all the stickers?
Save a fortune on that.
They will, of course. You're right.
Yeah. I
don't notice the price going down to reflect this.
Yeah, take a penny off.
If there's anyone out there, and don't text us today because we're not here, but if there's anyone out there who knows the ins and outs, there might be someone from the Imperial Lather business.
Imperial Lather.
Leather, sorry, I've gone back to my dad's thing. Yeah, I'd like to know, because this has snuck by me, and to discover anything when you're completely naked always makes it twice as bad, I think. You're vulnerable to start off with.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, I went away last weekend.
Yeah.
Oh.
I went to Disneyland Paris. Formerly known
Yeah.
The theme park formerly known as Euro Disney.
Yes.
And they've changed it.
They've changed it.
Yeah, it's Disneyland, Paris now.
Yes, I don't know why they changed it, but it did strike me that I went over on Eurostar.
Mm-hmm.
Did that used to be known as Starland Paris? I don't think so. Anyway, I think
that's a pizza shop. I think
is it
Starland Paris?
they probably they do those starfish pizzas. I'm not sure if they're absolutely correct.
No, but they're nice, aren't they?
They are
overpowering, aren't they? It's very salty.
It's the anchovies.
Yeah.
I like those shops where they do the Starland pizza. They use the legs like round the end like petals on a sunflower, but some just put one starfish right in the middle. It's laziness. Yes.
So what happened in Disneyland?
One
Paris?
I saw actually constructed a U.S. Marshal with like one of the starfish on the lapel, and they used anchovies to make the moustache.
Still hanging on to the starfish?
Yeah. Well,
not letting them go. Disneyland, Paris, or as I prefer to call it, the Magic Kingdom. Because I was told once by a friend who'd asked, this is many years ago, and he was with his kids, and they said, "Sir, we do not allow alcohol in the Magic Kingdom." They've changed that now, unfortunately, Frank.
Yes, that they have. There was alcohol there.
Oh, I've got drunk in there.
Have you? I was going to ask you if you've been then.
So many times.
Have you really? What, in what capacity? Drunk?
With my...
You just woke up there.
Stag do? Hen do?
Imagine waking up, looking across and seeing the ears on the bedside table.
Oh, Goofy would be worse.
Oh, we've all had nights like that.
It was various, godchildren and things like that.
Lovely.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I'm a big fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
How did you find it?
Frank? It's just very near the station.
Is it? Convenient.
I had a lovely time.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
I was worried, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too.
I spoke to an associate who said to me, look, when you go there, it's a bit like going to Las Vegas. You have to leave your cynicism at the door and just go in and embrace,
When
embrace
you say you
the
spoke
magic.
to an associate, was this an associate from Disneyland Paris?
No, this was an associate from my management company.
Oh, okay. A person you know. Right.
Person I know, yes. Who's been there many times. I tell you what, I did the thing, which I find myself...
Right there?
I find myself...
The thing.
Yeah, that is. It's after the 1979 film.
You did the thing.
In hotels, do you ever get this when you check into a hotel room? Like it's a nice-ish... Doesn't have to be great, but nice-ish.
Yeah.
And there are things, and they aren't in the minibar. They're on a table, and you think, well, hold on. Are they saying to me, this is yours now, this is a treat? Or are they saying, we're trying to fool you into thinking this is a treat, but in fact, as soon as you've ate this, you've got to pay for it.
Grey area.
I came a cropper with a fortune cookie once.
Did you?
Yeah. They had it in a
Ironically.
gold fortune cookie, and then I pulled it out, and then I got charged for it on the bill.
What would have been great with that is if you ate it, when you open up, it's the price.
Yeah.
It's an invoice inside the fortune cookie.
And how much was it? It should have been a lot in a minibar, and being a
about
fortune.
£7.95.
Costs a
For a
fortune.
fortune cookie. Oh, what a week Alun's had. He's been absolutely on top form.
He's on fire, Frank.
Really.
Look how good looking he looks today.
Thank you.
He does. Trust me, he looks much better than he does early on a Saturday morning when he looks like he's just fallen out of...
Much better time for me, grooming-wise.
Well, you look so good. We could be in a band. We could be a band.
It'd be a strange band, but, yeah.
It would be, yeah. It'd be like a band that's reformed. It used to be around.
no.
It used to be around in the 70s.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Frank, you were kind enough to send me a photograph of yourself in Disneyland Paris. And it was during what I call the Chip and Dale experience.
Yes.
It's a bit like the Jimi Hendrix experience.
Yes, except there's just two of them.
Yeah, and it's less ageing.
Yes. It was like the Jimi Hendrix experience after he'd inhaled his own vomit.
I'm missing something here. The Chip and Dale experience.
Chip Not Chippendale.
Oh,
This is the problem with Disneyland Paris now. People confuse Chip and Dale. When you say you've had the Chippendale experience,
Yeah.
Frank, explain what it is. They come to
thinking
your
the
table.
photo was going to be Frank's shirt off.
Well, it says muscular men in just cuffs and collars. Did I tell you I worked with the Chippendales? I must have
Worked
told
with them
this
all.
story.
Yes, worked with them all.
I worked with the Chippendales, and we were in the green room after several people, and they were still in there in their black dress trousers and just the cuffs and collars. Still in the green room.
Mm-hmm.
And they were really looking at me, really staring at me, and I imagined I was going to become part of some terrible ritual.
Yeah.
And then I realised, for some reason I pictured it happening on an underground car park. I don't know why, but I realised I was standing next to the mirror, and they were just...
They were checking
kept
themselves out.
looking into that all the time.
Right, wasn't you at all?
False. Now, Chip and Dale
Right.
Yes.
are two chipmunks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you know how to distinguish them, Em?
Wow. Has one got a slightly browner trunk than the other?
No, their trunks are more or less identical.
Oh, what is it, Frank?
I know, I was in the jacuzzi with them on Saturday night.
Another showbiz anecdote. He's worked with them all, hasn't
He's
he?
worked with them all. I love if they were his new celebrity pals. Chip
The
and
fur
Dale.
filter was thick with it.
Can imagine.
No, Chip has got a black nose and Dale has got a red nose.
Oh.
Little. See, who says you don't learn stuff on this show?
The little things. And what happens during the breakfast? If I'm right, this still happens. Right? They come to you. You can't go to them.
No, you can't go to them, otherwise they'd be mobbed.
Yeah. They're like Harry Styles. Everyone wants a piece of them.
They do. I mean, I got genuine... since I've been back, meal times have been dull.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I keep waiting to be surprised by a large animal.
Uh-huh.
And it hasn't happened yet. I'll tell you, there was a caribou on the lawn the other night. But that had come in from next door. Next door, they've got a Canadian Mountie tableau.
Oh, that's nice for them.
They're all right. Not sure about it. Anyway, I asked... they still come to breakfast.
Do they come to the breakfast? It's like, Frank, you once observed about the London free sheets. You can't ever go and get one. They have to hand them over to you,
Yes, I
don't they?
I don't want to go out of my way to get one.
That's like Chip and Dale.
What I've dreamt of with the London, in case I think this is true in many cities now, but you're handed free newspapers in the street.
Yeah.
Par example, the Evening Standard. What I've dreamt of doing is carrying a bamboo cane. Like you get, you ever been in those cafes where they have the newspapers and they have like a cane, like a bamboo spine? Of holding one of those and just fitting it on the end. Or getting them to slide it on for me.
That'd be good.
They have like a string on.
Yeah.
I don't know what the string's for, but you know the kind of implement I'm talking
I
about.
know exactly what you mean. It's often available in posh international hotels as well.
Is it? I don't go in many of those.
Of course you do.
I was
Touring
in
artist like yourself. Of course you do.
Well, I was in the Disneyland Hotel, which was very lovely, I must say. I was in one of the Tinkerbell suites.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. I have nothing to add to that.
I mean, either.
It was just nice. There was Tinkerbell on the headboard, Tinkerbell above the wardrobe.
I stayed in the Hakuna Matata.
Did you really?
That was in Orlando, though.
What is that?
That is from The Lion King.
Oh, I've never seen The Lion King.
It means no
good.
worries.
It's good.
Is it good?
I like it.
I've never seen... The Lion King... my problem with the lionesses...
Oh.
I don't like the mainless look.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that, not quite joining in, like when people don't wear a suit at a wedding because they want to be different.
Skinner, Dean and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
So, I tell you something, I'm not a one to talk about people in a lascivious way on this show, but Daisy Duck is quite hot.
Well, she's got the Kardashian posterior.
Well,
I would imagine, hasn't she?
I said to Kath, my partner, I said, she's quite hot, Daisy. She was standing, I had to say it in hushed tones. She was quite adjacent. And she said, you know what, she is quite hot. She's got like big eyelashes, as you say. She's got a it's a
lovely rear.
And often I find Doc a bit fatty.
Right.
But
in that context, it's...
Well, she's sufficiently Zola Budd for you.
Well, I just thought I think we've talked to him before about how cartoon characters and that can be strangely alluring.
Oh, like Caramac Bunny we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
I would have said to you, I don't like to see a rabbit in makeup after all those experiments that happened in the 70s. I can't relax with that. If I see a beagle having a cigarette on a street corner,
no.
They don't know. They don't know. They don't know the past. I'm not blaming them.
No.
But to me, I get images go through. My blood runs cold.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next morning, I was walking down the corridor, and suddenly Daisy stepped out of a doorway.
Daisy Duck.
Daisy Duck, yeah. And who do you think I meant?
Was she chalet hopping? She'd been in.
She'd been in somebody's room. No. I think she was coming from the kitchen or something.
Yeah, where had she been? One night stand?
Yeah. She'd probably just been in for a...
doesn't she?
I think they do a plankton breakfast in one of the rooms.
If they wanted to make money, they should hire her out, just for the girlfriend experience. That's what some men want, I believe.
Do you think
Nothing funny goes on, they just want the girlfriend experience, to have a cuddle and watch movies.
They're above that kind. They're sweeter than sweet, these things. Anyway...
They're French, though.
Yeah, so she looked straight at me, and I mean, can you get... This is what happens when when you fancy someone, you're a teenager, you're all sort of fingers and thumbs and make a fool of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked straight at me, and I said, "Oh, good morning, Daffy."
Oh, no.
I mean, I don't often make a Warner Brothers bass faux pas, but...
Especially not in front of a lady you fancy.
I could see it in her eyes, and I mean they were acrylic. I could still see that. I felt genuinely awful about it.
Did she allude to the faux pas?
No, she took it in her stride.
Very ladylike.
More of a waddle. But so that was my chances completely shot with Daisy Duck, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So that was it with Daisy Duck.
Oh.
See, I thought it was... I know she goes out with Donald Duck. And Donald Duck, I've always liked him because I empathise.
I'm a bit old to be going out.
Because your sleeping outfit, is that...
No, it's because Donald Duck is a bit of a git as well. In a way that,
yes,
Mickey is kind of a very, lovable, laid-back character. Donald Duck has, big tantrums and...
Mm-hmm.
He has slight talent moments.
He does, yeah. That's what I love about him. He's real, Donald Duck. He's
quite grumpy sometimes as well, yeah.
Yeah, he dallied with German National Socialism in the 1930s. And if you've ever seen that short film,
I think I might have.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Is it?
It's something like Stamp on the Führer's Face. It's called a Walt Disney film. It's brilliant. It's got more puns, visual puns, on Nazism than any cartoon I've ever seen.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, you can quote me on that.
If they're looking for a poster quote now.
Yeah. So anyway, the complimentary or not complimentary, that grey area we're talking about in rooms, I actually asked the man on reception.
Oh, yeah.
I said, look, there's a cuddly crocodile on the sofa when I went into the room.
Did you think you were a spy?
Yeah. I said there's a cuddly crocodile that ticks when you press the hand palm.
Did you go down to ask him this?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
did you do it on the phone?
We were on the same level.
Oh, I'd like to have met him.
Yeah, so I said to... is that a complimentary crocodile?
We tried to be quite casual, Al, as well, as if he really didn't care.
The tone you brought up.
Is that
it's
a compliment?
Really weird.
And he said, I said, is that something if I wanted that? Because I said it was placed in such a position, obviously my son saw it as soon as he walked in the room. Just wondering whether... He said, oh, no, it is complimentary, sir.
Oh, lovely.
I said, oh, is it? He said, oh, yes. And I said, there's champagne on the side as well. And I said, that is a gift, a welcome gift for you.
No.
And I thought, I should have asked more often about the hotel room.
Yeah.
I said, what about that velveteen sofa on the left? No, that one. But yes,
Well,
Wow.
did you bring the champagne back then? Because you and
I
Catherine
didn't
drink.
bring the champagne. I actually... Well, now you brought it up, I actually washed myself with it in the bidet.
With Daffy Duck.
Because no, it's
Just Daisy wasn't available.
It's because you rarely get the chance to do that with champagne. I wouldn't waste money on champagne for
No.
for personal cleansing. But I just thought, I've got it. There's a bidet.
I love a bidet.
My private part smelled like a lottery winner afterwards. I'll be honest with you.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website. Don't text us. We're sick of it. No, we're not here. We're not live this week. Look, there was a fire, and we're not going into details. But anyway. So, no, there wasn't a fire, don't worry.
No.
I don't know who'd be worried, but there might be people who keep vinyl here.
That's
for
true,
example.
yeah, there could be.
I've seen vinyl here.
It's back on Vogue, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh, God, yeah.
On Vogue.
People with beards and shoulders.
Whatever happened to them?
Yeah, good question.
Thanks.
We're not the only radio broadcasters that
I've heard that.
aren't live.
Aren't we?
Grimmy, as in Nick Grimshaw,
Oh, yes.
Radio 1.
Grimmers.
The disc jockey Grimm.
He had a sick day this week. He pulled out of hosting his Radio 1 breakfast show
Yes.
due to illness.
Yeah.
And then a bit embarrassing for him, there was pictures on the old Instagram. Is that what it's called? Instagram?
I like that you called it Dinstagram.
Old Dinstagram. Yeah.
Is it like a strippergram instead? Somebody turns up with a ginster.
Very like that, yeah.
Okay.
Everyone
There
puts
ought
their
to be.
photos on it now, Frank.
Shouldn't there be
Ginstagram.
a ginstagram?
Terrible idea.
In which a woman who's short of money turns up dressed as a big pasty
That sounds good.
at a stag do.
I think I'd like that. I'd be a stag do. I'd be up for.
They said,
but yeah, he didn't go, and then he was pictured in various embarrassing party scenes on his holidays.
He was smoking the sheesh.
On the,
I think shisha pipes, they're all right. It's mainly apple, isn't it? They
is
smoke.
it?
Oh, raspberry as well.
This is one of the fact-finding missions that I was on with this story. I don't really know what these shisha pipes are. What do they?
Well, I used to enjoy a shisha. It's one of the many things, since I stopped smoking, many things to do that are a bit like smoking, in the way I do things that are a bit like drinking. And also it makes you feel a bit,
Yeah, rock and roll.
a bit broad-minded.
Does it?
Yeah. You know, because it's an Eastern thing.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and there used to be they used to be in rooms where, you know, them rooms where the carpets are on the ceiling, you know,
Yeah.
those kind of, I mean, I love that. But of course now with the smoking ban, you have to sit out on the street in a little table, and that with your shisha, then you look like your job is heating the restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, you're someone it's all done by, and there's like 6 of you sitting outside. Keep blowing, guys.
So as a non-smoker, is it something that I could get into? Is it
The sheesh?
Yeah,
It
is it
can
like
make you a
tobacco?
little.
Love it.
You can get a bit skittish.
really?
with it,
Yeah.
a little bit lightheaded.
But
yeah.
will it make me cough like smoking would, like tobacco?
I
Is
don't
there
think
tobacco
I've,
in there? Is there no tobacco?
I think there might be a bit of tobacco. I didn't
Oh, I
ask
don't
too
want
much.
that.
I didn't want to
Don't
know
want
if I was actually smoking.
All right.
No.
But there's a lovely
Do you know
bubble
what? We're
inside.
not your doctors, okay?
Right.
You're just going to have to find out for yourself.
Okay, I don't want to get really into it because I already feel like I'm trying to pare down my luggage as much as possible. I don't want to start carrying one of those shisha pipes around. with me.
they're a bit. That is tricky.
I've got an old saxophone case, though. That'd come in handy, wouldn't it?
Hey, oh, it's a shame to waste it. How brilliant to take out a saxophone case. So that is. I'll tell you what. Why take it out? Why not put a hole in the top and have the pipe
Oh,
coming
there you
through?
go.
Yeah,
It'd be useful for something.
People sit next to you on the train just hear and just you going, oh, apple.
I was right to buy
I
it at
worry
that
about...
jumble.
It's a bit business class lounge at Emirates, isn't it, though?
Is it? What, the shisha pipe thing?
Yeah.
Is it? I've never seen it in that environment, but I can believe
Oh, yeah.
it.
I've seen it. The thing that he got wrong, Grimmers, there were
Oh, hang
pictures
on,
of
how
him...
far back are we going on this, though?
Well, there was pictures of
He
him...
looks a bit like Mickey Mouse. I don't mean that, I
You've got
don't mean that
Disney
in
on
an
the brain at the
unkind way.
moment.
I wouldn't want to see those ears on the pillow next to me next morning.
But his eyes and his hair combo, he has
Right.
got a bit of that look. Because Mickey Mouse, God bless him, he's swarthy in appearance. One could believe he was Mediterranean, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Carry on.
The problem... where he went wrong, you see, is that he called in sick and then he protested too much. He went Lady Macbeth. He started posting all these tweets saying, Operation Get My Voice Back, and gutted I can't do the show. The ill are essentially quite... When you're ill, you're quite self-absorbed. You just say, won't make it in.
Can I say I don't think it was Lady Macbeth who protested too much.
Did she not protest? Who protested too much?
I believe it was the actress in the play, within a play in Hamlet.
Oh, you're right, Frank. You're right, Frank.
I just don't want to be inundated with texts when we're not
No, you're
live.
right. I stand corrected. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. I don't think any less of you for it. Don't think that for a second.
He overdid it, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
He overdid it.
Well, he sent things saying, oh, God, I'm so sad about missing the show. And
It's too much.
Oh, grimy. Grimy, I've made a mistake of mammoth proportions. He can have that now as his ringtone.
Yeah.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.
So,
Grimmers.
Mr. Grimshaw. Yeah, I've never met. Have you met him, Emily?
No, I don't believe I have.
No,
Alan?
No, I haven't.
I think we're too old for Grimmers.
Well, I was shocked to see that he was 30, though. I thought the whole idea of Radio 1
yeah, I think his
now...
parents might be shocked to see he's 30 as well, but that's another story.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I thought even 30,
Yeah.
even benefit that's out 30. I thought they had a sort of Arsene Wenger policy at Radio 1. If you got to 30, you're out. It's a young man. It's a young man station.
He's going to be on a 1 yearly contract, proving himself
thought,
every 12 months.
It's time when you're thinking about Radio Top Shop. You go to 30.
It's a good thing he's not 33.
It is. Imagine how that would be. Yeah, but I saw his holiday snaps.
Well, you call them holiday... Put it this way, they were very different to the ones you sent me of the Chippendale experience.
Well, yes, it's true.
It was him on a couch lying supine, sort of Jeremy Kyle supine.
Sue Pollard?
Yeah, with Henry Holland, a design. Daisy Lowe, she was in them.
Daisy Lowe was there, and lots of very...
Jeremy Clarkson was there.
I don't think
Who?
so.
Yeah, he was. He was over there in Istanbul.
Jezza Clarkson?
Yep, he was there.
He wasn't on the same holiday, though, was
Yes,
he?
he was.
Are you
It
serious?
was the opening of Soho House in Istanbul.
Oh,
God, because
yeah.
it sounds like a clerical error, the way you put it.
I like that you said...
No, that was the Reformation.
Do you know what I like? Frank said lots of very attractive people, and I then said Jeremy Clarkson.
Well, the pictures, I didn't see him in any of the pictures, Clarkson.
No,
he was
he's
probably
avoiding the pictures.
I could see the chef's feet 4 inches off the ground being held against the wall. No, but they did look. There was a lot of like young, pretty.
Oh yeah.
There was
Happening people.
Yeah, Grimmy
that sort of-
and Daisy Lowe and
Oh, I
just
thought you were
those
going to say
sort of-
Daisy Duck.
Those sort. No,
That's your idea,
I was.
Kitty.
That's the difference between me and Grimshaw. I was away with Daisy Duck, and he was away with Daisy Lowe.
Professor Green, Frank.
Professor Green.
Yeah.
Yes, another one of the less pretty, but I mean cool.
Good at maths problems.
Is he?
Yeah. He's a professor, isn't he?
Is he a professor?
I
not
don't think he's not green. I've seen him.
He's not green or a professor.
No, he's all,
two
he's all
misses.
talk. I looked at it and I thought to myself, well, as long as they're not doing drugs on that holiday, because if I thought for a second they were doing drugs, I mean, I would view them much more sternly. As I know in my heart that they couldn't possibly be, because they're in the public eye. I thought, I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and I thought, well, they're just young people out enjoying themselves on holiday.
High on life.
Is it that
Shisha pipes.
different from when I went to Eastbourne in 1971 with my mates? Is it that different? It's quite different. There was no one like Daisy Lowe. There was a woman, I remember, who looked a bit like Arthur Lowe. But, you know what it is, a couple of drinks.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We were talking about Nicholas Grimshaw.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
So I looked at the picture of them on holiday, all these young, cool, pretty people. And it did strike me, I doubt there's anyone in this picture who has fallen victim to the Poetry News Update scam. I think I can safely say they've avoided.
Yeah.
It's an because I suppose somewhere deep in me there must be a bit of jealousy. They're young, and they're successful and they're attractive, and But my whole life I've been what I would describe as a weirdo loner. I've never had a lot of friends. I've spent a lot of nights in on my own. I've been to the cinema a lot on my own. I'm that person who sits in the theatre during the interval reading the programme on their own.
Yes,
it's just the way life's turned out for me, and it's fine. And some people might feel there's an air of tragedy to it. And then you look at a picture like that and you think, you know what, I'm one of the lucky ones. Because I don't think I'd be happy with that group.
I don't think I would, Frank, to be honest.
Really? I thought, you were part of that group in a way. Not now so much.
Thank you very much.
No, but I mean, you know what I mean? You were cool and young and...
I was pretending.
Was you?
I wanted to
Maybe they all are.
I wanted to be sitting in the theatre with you reading the programme.
Well, I wish you had been. Because there's very little in those programmes, isn't there? Adverts for things like the new Mazda.
Yeah, thanks to a lot of sponsors.
But you see, that's what I think. I think half those people probably don't want to be there.
Do you honestly believe that?
Yes, I do think that.
But people must look at that photo.
Those good-looking people are very boring,
Half of the people don't want to be there and the other half are male. Is that what it is?
They look sweaty as well. I mean, I know it's hot out there.
A lot of black they wear, don't they, these types?
I
the trendy types.
Yes.
In the heat.
Well, he had a T-shirt on which I thought was borderline blasphemous. We won't go into that.
He was doing the, it was the sort of that V sign they always do now. And I always think you're drunk if you're doing that.
It's like a reverse V sign, yes.
Yeah, they do the reverse V.
It's not a Harvey Smith, as we used to call it.
Good reference.
That's why I wasn't invited. Because I know Harvey Smith
I
is.
don't get
and
the
that's
Harvey
why I'm not
Smith
invited, because
Well,
I
I'll
know
tell
who
you,
Harvey Smith
Harvey
is.
Smith was a show jumper who once gave an old-fashioned V sign.
In front of the Queen, wasn't it,
To
Frank?
the timekeeper. I don't know if I imagine
she was there, she was present, wasn't
the Queen, I think, is at every equestrian event, at least in spirit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so people called it doing a Harvey Smith.
Oh,
but how marvellous that it's been mentioned on this show in 2015. It makes me
In
proud.
reference to a Nick Grimshaw story, yeah.
Anyway, it wasn't like I turned down the invite to go. I wasn't asked.
I didn't like it when Grimmy, he tweeted and he said, I've lost my voice. It's the most upsetting thing to happen to a man like me. I didn't like the use of a man like me.
Does he mean a man who is a wordsmith by trade? If he did mean that, he's made a terrible error.
I think he meant, I'm a gregarious type.
I've never heard his show. He's popular, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's an aspirational character, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is that people think, I wish I lived like Nick Grimshaw.
Especially at that age.
Yes. Well, he's held
He's still
on
got
well.
it.
You see, I mean, you're teasing me with this. I know we shouldn't. Doesn't matter, does it? It's only numbers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
True.
I've often thought that.
I agree. Speaking as a 21-year-old, I agree.
I'm going to speak as a 21-year-old. Oh, that's just earlier, isn't it? What's the age when you start saying, I went, I'm drinking today. What age would that
That's
be?
about 14, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, it varies.
I mean, mine was a lot more muffled, obviously, because of the gas mask.
You're listening to the Frank Skinner podcast from Absolute Radio. Want your Frank fix a little sooner? Listen live every Saturday from 8 a.m. on Absolute Radio. Across the UK on digital radio, mobile apps, and in London and the South East on 105.8 FM.
Absolute Radio.
You know what it is now? Yes, it's Email Corner. And where do I begin to tell a story that is older than the sea? How old is the sea? That's this morning's text. Oh no, don't text him because we're not live.
I haven't got text today.
I know we sound live. Such is the nature of recording.
Al, do you want to do the first email?
Would you like me to?
Yeah.
I can do that. Hi, Frank, Divine Miss M and Lecoq Sportif. Since hearing the Henry VIII mnemonic on your show a couple of weeks ago...
No, we should explain that, shouldn't we? Can you remember what it was?
Oh, is it all boys?
It's something about... I'll see if I can find it here. I wrote it down. Because
Something about please come.
All boys,
all
please.
boys should come home, please.
Should come home, please,
And it is the 6 wives of Henry VIII.
Yeah.
All is Aragon,
Yeah.
B is Boleyn, S is Seymour, etc.
Etc., etc.
So yes, it's a helpful mnemonic.
Since hearing the Henry VIII mnemonic on your show a couple of weeks ago, I have become rather addicted to them, and I have found one that I think Frank might like. It goes as follows: how to punish bad Daleks. before many million earthlings truly see clearly. Wonder how quickly Frank can get this one. In case he doesn't get it, do you want me to...
Yes, go on.
The answer is the surnames of all the actors who have played the Doctor in chronological order.
Oh, that's clever.
Hartnell, Troughton, Pertwee, Baker, Davison, Baker, McCoy,
Sorry, just my solicitors on the phone.
McGann, Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, Capaldi.
Oh.
Not sure if this email will get read due to the fact that Doctor Who rarely gets a mention on this show.
Indeed.
Yeah, right. That's Michael in Doncaster, we should say.
Oh, yeah.
I have a slight problem with this.
Uh-oh.
If you...
I know what it's going to be. There'll be some technicality about Paul McGann's not an actual doctor.
It's not really a technicality. The fact is it goes McGann, Eccleston. Does it not?
Yes, in this.
Yes. Bit of a problem with that. Because...
Was it the other way round?
No, it's the right way round, but there's another one in between. John Hurt's War Doctor was in between McGann and Eccleston.
Does he count as a doctor?
Oh, yes, he's still a doctor. I'm afraid so. So they're going to have to make those Earthlings hungry, hairy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Horny
Earthlings.
Yeah.
Yes, they could do that. So what a shame, after all that trouble, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a shame, it's just a quick amendment we've made. With the addition of horny, everything's fine.
Okay.
I find.
Yeah.
In life in general.
Yeah, that's one of my rules.
Do you remember Wackosses, 1, 2, 3, Orny?
I love that.
It's a playground game. Do you remember it?
No, but I remember the song.
Oh, do you? What?
I'm horny.
No, it wasn't. It was earlier than that. I'm on about when I was at school. Wackosses, 1, 2, 3, Orny. You used to have to... It was a cross between Leapfrog and, torture. You used to jump on kids' backs, but you didn't jump over it. You'd just stay there until they couldn't take the weight of it anymore.
Oh,
do you know what? I'm increasingly convinced that I wouldn't have made it out alive of a Birmingham playground.
Oh, come on.
I wouldn't.
You'd have charmed your way out of it.
Would I?
What about that time that dog ripped your skirt off?
I know!
That's what I always think of. I say always. I just mean most mornings. No, that was really... Do you ever imagine that Jed would, when they're on their own, play Leapfrog?
Yeah.
I imagine they're obsessive.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We were talking about a mnemonic sent in by one of our readers. Mm-hmm. I know someone's going to come back and say, well, you could argue that, but you couldn't. It's definitely, John Hurt was a doctor. He covered a large part of the Time War.
We're not going to argue with you.
How many episodes was he the Doctor? 1?
Well, you could argue 2. He appears in 1 and then he's featured in another. But we don't know how long he was the Doctor.
Feet Rihanna.
John Hurt.
I mean, he might have been the Doctor. For all we know, there might have been 30 years of Hurt.
Yeah.
Oh.
But we don't
Imagine
know.
writing a lyric like that.
I was in...
I do think that's one of the greatest ever lyrics.
Thanks. I was in...
Like a shy guy, doesn't he?
I was in a lift with John Hurt. Did I tell you this? It's the only time
with them all.
I've ever been in a lift and really wanted it to get stuck.
Yeah.
I thought if it gets stuck, I can just say, right, we're never going to talk about Doctor Who.
I bet you would have loved
God,
that.
I don't want it. No, too late. You're going to be... Oh, come on! I mean... I didn't come here for this!
Not using his Michael Winner impression so much these days, is he? Just a bit of a tweak.
But anyway, I'm up for a mnemonic if anyone wants to send us...
Naughty Elephants Squirt Water's the only one I can think of that I use.
Oh, let's work it out, Frank.
Naughty Elephants. N-E-S-W.
North, east, south.
West.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I find those fairly easy to remember.
Those ones are really easy, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think... Oh, north, south, east... Oh, what's that other one?
You still did it in the wrong order then, though, didn't you?
What's that? But I can picture them.
Well, can you? Well,
Yes.
see, I think I used Naughty Elephant Squirt Water before I could picture them. I think that was how I learned it.
I think that sounds like one of your adult videos.
Never Eat Shredded Wheat was the other one that the people did, wasn't it, for the same thing? But
Yeah, can we say that we're not suggesting that you shouldn't eat shredded wheat? I'm just trying to remember whether they advertise with us or not. I'll be furious if they hear
I
that.
personally don't, but other people do. So it's,
Okay.
in the
We could
interest of
say,
balance.
Yeah, can we have a more pro-shredded wheat one to balance that out?
Actually, eat shredded wheat. Something like that.
Nice people. nice kind of people.
Never evade shredded wheat.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Never
Does that make up
erase.
for my mistake earlier with the Lady Macbeth? I feel really awful about that.
Don't feel bad about it.
No, but my boyfriend's really clever. He knows everything. What if he dumps me when he hears that?
Oh.
No,
Can we edit it out? Can we vote if we edit that out?
But you know what?
If that happens, I think you'll be more sinned against than sinning.
If I vote
also
it
from
out.
Hamlet.
Oh? Well,
I think you'll find that's from King Lear.
You're right.
It is.
Oh my God! Thank you, Frank. Thank you.
And in a way, you're off the hook again now, aren't you? Because now
I
I'm
feel
the
so
biggest.
much happier.
What a fool! What a fool I've been.
Okay.
Everyone's made like a Shakespeare mistake today.
Except I know, Frank. It's
like unbelievable.
Oh my God, we've all
Frank,
done it.
Swat over there.
Frank will never make a mistake. That's the problem.
But the thing about the clever boyfriend is you know, one could argue I'm a clever boyfriend, but you don't. That's not what love's about, is it? You see, I don't want clever conversation. I don't want to work that. That's made a lot of people at home feel a lot better.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We're in email corner. Can I say on the subject of mnemonics?
Mnemonics.
We'll lay off the Shakespeare stuff now. I don't want to milk Shakespeare. Is there such a thing? There must be a technical term for a sort of a reverse mnemonic. Because my dad, whenever we saw... I know I've quoted him previously this morning, but whenever we saw a contents page in a book...
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't have that many books in the house as a child, I'll be brutal with you. But whenever we saw the contents page, he'd always say to me, cows ought not to eat nasty turnip skins.
Oh.
Which is a way of remembering how to spell contents.
Isn't that a bit north, south, east, west, though? Who doesn't know how to spell that?
It's not tricky, is it? And the other thing was... I think I finally said to him, you know what, I'm all right with contents. And he said, hold on, what about spelling it backwards, School time never ends till 9 o'clock. I said, look, I've got contents. I'm across it. I don't need two right way and reverse ways of remembering how to spell contents. It's absolutely... Anyway, it caused a bit of a stir, but we got over it. The content settled.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Frank, what about with the index when you once didn't you write in a book where David Baddiel's name was mentioned?
Well, I bought David Baddiel a book about alternative comedy, and this is something I'd seen. I can't remember the guy it was.
Sunshine on Pat, it wasn't that, but yeah,
I'd seen as an American writer who did it to a friend. But anyway, what I did, where in the index, where it had David Baddiel's name, I wrote hello. And of course he went straight to it. And there it was. It was rather fine, I must say.
Are we ready for the next email?
Let's do another email.
Okay, I'm writing from Charlottesville, Virginia.
Charlotte, that sounds brilliant, doesn't it?
Imagine living there, that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going out to Charlottesville, Virginia. You want to come with me, stranger?
Yeah.
Who is this? Sorry, wrong number. Pardon. Who was it, Paul? It's some old time, like a Wild West old timer. It's the wrong number. You coming back to bed? Oh, yeah, I will. It's just unsettled me a bit.
Are you in a civil partnership? It's Paul.
No,
You're
I'm
coming
Paul.
back to bed. I don't understand. Who's the cast of characters? You're Paul. Who's the other one?
Look, I never explain my theatre work.
Wasn't Kyle the guy that you used to have living with you, was it?
No.
I love the idea that he has a body of theatre
He was
work now,
he was one,
that he never has to explain.
he was one of my remember, he met my gays? Yes. And I said, have you met my gays? And Kyle was one of those.
That's right.
I sponsored 3 young homosexuals. Mainly, dancing and things. Oh, God, they could dance, though.
Do they wear the cuffs as well?
They didn't work. No. I released them at the weekends. Oh, how do we get there? I don't know.
Charlottesville, Virginia.
Should we go back to Charlottesville, Virginia?
Yeah, we'll go after these messages.
Okay.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane this morning. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website. Don't text us. I've gone off it. No, we're not live today. I hate to admit it because I think radio should basically, in an ideal world, be live.
Yeah, but isn't this lion lovely? Oh. Lion.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think you said lion. You see, that's what I thought. Oh, God, where are we supposed to be? Nairobi. Is it the old Nairobi scam? We're still in Charlottesville.
Oh, yeah, an email corner. Okay.
Charlottesville, Kentucky, is it?
Virginia.
This is from
West
Bridget.
Virginia. What's that? Take me home.
Country
roads. Okay.
That's all we're allowed to sing before we have to start paying for it, isn't it?
Is it?
I'm writing from Charlottesville, Virginia, and I thought I would write to tell you that there is a pub here called St. Martin's where regulars can get pewter mugs to keep at the restaurant.
Now, this is a back reference to something I mentioned a few weeks ago, that people, I don't know if it still happens, but when I was a young man, people used to keep a pewter tankard, or mug, whatever you want to call it, behind the bar, and they'd have their own, when they went in the pub, they'd always have their own tankard.
Nice.
Does it still happen, Alan? You're still in touch.
Well, Charlottesville, Virginia, it appears to still be happening.
But does it happen in Manchester?
I don't really go out that much. I'm quite antisocial, so I mean, I could.
You're not with Grimmers the weekend?
No.
No.
Yeah, maybe it happens in Istanbul.
Now your telecareer's gone through the roof, things will change. You'll find.
I like the rest of the email though. So
go on, now carry on.
So Bridget continues. A person can put a personal saying on the mug. I like a person.
Yeah.
The
Personal
mugs
saying.
are numbered on the bottom, so the restaurant staff know whose mug is whose. An added thing is that you have to be invited to get a mug, basically be nice to the staff and the regulars, and you'll get one.
See, that's how I think the world should work. If you're nice to people, you should get stuff. That seems like...
I agree.
That would be a nice way of going through life, wouldn't it? If you just say nice things to folk and then you get things...
I think that does happen in life.
You think so?
Yeah.
Good.
I like the use of folk, quite George W. Bush.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm like. I'm very similar to him.
But when he says mog, is it a he or a she?
It's
Bridget.
a she, it's Bridget.
Bridget, when she says mog, does she mean tankard, though?
I think so.
Yeah, I think maybe it's an Americanism. It's American
let's say
corruption.
tankard, then. Sorry that upsets people. Who gets the blame?
Oh, he's
Tankardins.
He's having one of his Donald Duck turns.
What? That was a Moggins joke.
Yeah, I know, I got it, Frank, I'm sorry.
Never ride through it like that again. What would your personal message be?
Well, you know, there's... I'm going to say, those men that you see sometimes in T-shirts that say, if found, please return to pub.
Oh, yeah.
And they basically mean, like, oh, I'm going to be so intoxicated that I'm lost.
Take me drunk, I'm home.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Well, I think if I had a mug in the pub in Charlottesville, Virginia, I think I would like it to say on the bottom, if found, please return to pub.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, finally.
That makes sense, that's a good one.
That phrase finally
makes
sense.
I've gone Joe Dolce.
You don't, but my thing does.
What do you mean it makes sense?
That makes a sense.
What would you have on what would your personal message be?
Well, I think it would have to be from, I hope I get this reference right.
Okay, I'm sure you will.
Rudyard Kipling's If,
Oh,
Frank?
God.
Yeah.
Go on.
Am I right so far?
I know what it's going to be.
What is it, Frank?
Is it if you can talk with crowds and keep the common touch?
Walk with kings nor lose the common touch.
Ah, okay.
Walk with crowd. Oh, he got one wrong! Yes, Al. No, same poem though, you're right, Frank, yeah.
Still wrong. I'm accepting it. It's one each. And Kipling, who I love. I kippled only this morning.
Oh.
Yes, I think I'd probably go for Death to All Skinheads. It's a sort of a multi-purpose saying, which has stood me in good stead over the years, I must say.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
It's quite late on in the show for us not to have mentioned celebrity chef Gino D'Acampo. He's one of my personal favourites.
Gino D'Acampo?
Oh, I love him.
Mm-hmm. What's that mean in translation?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a bit of he's a sort of effervescent character, isn't he?
He's bubbly, yeah.
Oh, he's bubbly, all right. He's someone, if you can imagine being sat next to him in a restaurant, you'd hear a lot of his conversation. You know those people Or you
Yes.
think, I'm not sure if I want to be next to you in a restaurant.
Well, I'll say this, though. I've met Gino De Campo.
Oh, yeah.
Work with them all.
And he's a handsome chap, for a
Is he?
starter. Very slim.
Oh, svelte.
My God, though, he had a well, you know, when people now, the modern people, they wear those he looked like he got Warwick Davis's jacket on.
Oh,
He had
yeah.
a very small jacket on.
Now, that is Daniel Craig's fault. He started that Vogue with his suit.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh,
It
but
was
it
a
was
very-
even smaller than that. You know when you get that sort of monkey arms, like, you know when you see a chimpanzee
Yeah.
in a suit jacket. Not as often as you used to, I appreciate. But they got quite a lot of forearm.
Yeah.
It's had that kind of. But he was very nice. To be
He's meant
honest,
to be nice.
I'll be straight with you now. As you say, I've worked with them all, and I find the people at that end of the celebrity spectrum are generally nicer people.
What with Kings nor lose the common touch?
Yeah, but I mean, I think the big stars, I think the damage to the personality at the epicentre is you know, they're almost. They're rubble. Their personalities are
Can I
just
ask you a
rubble.
question? Does it always happen, the damage to the personality?
Not always, but
Okay.
it's very hard to avoid, I think. Whereas the people on the outskirts, they've only got periphery damage. So often, you know,
Collateral damage.
if you have an evening with, let's say, Wincy Willis,
Rusty
it can be
Lee,
a lot
yeah.
of fun. You
Yeah.
know, an evening with Richard Gere can be hell on earth.
So I've heard.
Anyway, carry on.
Like it's someone's character being reduced to rubble.
Well, celebrity, you know, fame at that level.
Yes, it's somewhat corrupting. Anyway, Gino,
Yes.
currently untroubled by that level of fame, I think it's fair to say. He is, however, very welcome as a guest on Loose Women.
Yes.
But he was told recently, he was warned that he was not to kiss the presenters.
Yeah.
He was banned from kissing the presenters because they said it wastes
Well,
time.
that's why we stopped having guests on this show.
The
This is
kissing.
me.
I was going home. I was covered in
Exhausted.
it. My collar was sodden from saliva.
Oh, right.
That was just when David Essex came on.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said hold me close. He misunderstood me. No, I think that's fair enough, isn't it?
Well, if you think there's 4 of them, the ladies, are there
Yeah.
4
Yeah,
or 5
4
days? You'll
ladies,
know.
2
You probably
kisses
watch that,
each.
don't you? 4. So that's it's 8, isn't
I
it?
think there's
It's
4.
8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, both cheeks, you mean?
we're all
Yeah.
kissing.
It's a lot of kissing.
It is a waste of time.
It is, but then again, it surprises me that daytime television, of all places, is a place that thinks, hang on, we need to keep every moment precious. I thought, it's
a good
daytime
point.
television is about wasting time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Since when were they so on task?
Yeah, they should have said, can you kiss all the presenters?
Yeah.
And then can you
And
do
then-
hearty handshakes?
Yeah, and then the crowd, and then we'll start the chat, yeah?
Well, I think Loose Women trundles along, doesn't it? I mean, I've been on it 2 or 3 times. I've never kissed any of the presenters. But, you know, I don't want to get drunk by osmosis.
Skinner, Dean, and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute
One thing
Radio.
I don't like about the kiss on the TV show is I resent the lie. I don't like it when they come on and go, oh, hi, when I know they've seen each other 10 minutes before. I'm
Yes.
no idiot. I'd rather they didn't do that. I would appreciate Frank Skinner honesty.
But though I do find myself doing that. Like,
Do
for
you?
example, on Room 101, when they, you know, I'll say, you know, thanks for coming. And even when they just walk out in the warm-up bit, I shake their hands and stuff. And I've just been talking to them 2 minutes before.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't like it.
I'm
You-
sorry. I've let you down. I've let myself down.
I liked it when Janet Street Porter said that she was glad that he wasn't allowed to give her a kiss, and she said, I wouldn't have liked it anyway. I like the anyway. It's really childish.
Yeah,
It's like a kid
like-
going, I like it on the
says
step
that.
anyway.
It's like I never fancied him anyway
Yeah,
when someone
exactly.
dumps you.
Yeah, I bet she was already offering a cheek when he walked out. Oh,
Yeah.
terrible.
What about the kiss, though?
Oh. I agree with them. I think it is. One of the things on radio that really gets on my nerves, if you ever listen to radio phone-ins, it's when people come on and say, we got Steve on the line now. Hello, Steve. All right, Pete, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. How are you, Steve? I know this all right. How are you? Just dead air. They're not doctors, these people. They've no idea. It's guesswork. But I just think, don't ask, and don't encourage it. If they say, all right, Steve, you're all right. Just move on.
Yeah, but that's because you see any conversation that's not funny as a missed opportunity. You could be packing that with material.
Well, it's just we don't... What does it mean, that conversation?
Yeah, but that's why you get angry when we go for brunch. And sometimes some of the staff will discuss, what are you doing tonight? You're going to the cinema. Oh, what are you eating? I say, what are they talking about?
They'll talk about things like
food.
They'll talk about things like jumpers. That's what they'll talk about. And, I haven't slaved over the years, worked my fingers to the bone to sit with people talking about jumpers.
Oh, I see, sorry.
Okay. Anyway, that's got that out of the way.
Oh, dear.
He's changed his middle name to Sheffield, hasn't he? Gino De Campo.
Why has he done that?
For a television show.
Celebrity Juice,
He's after free knives.
Maybe. Yeah, I suppose they'd help with the chefing, wouldn't they?
Maybe he had a night out with Sean Bean. 100% Blade.
Is it a pun on Sheffield?
Chef.
Oh, Frank!
I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it is.
I think they just picked it.
Who picked it?
The audience
What's
of
the name?
Celebrity Juice.
Oh, was it?
He was on the show, and they read out 4 names, I think, place names, and they said whichever one got the loudest cheers, he'd have to change his middle name to. And they brought on, they said lawyers came on. These are Celebrity Juice lawyers, so, But yeah, apparently the documents...
Probably not taking a break from the Leveson inquiry to come and do the...
I think they're more Mr. Loophole, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's sort of a lawyer.
Okay.
But his middle name's surely D.
The deed is done.
Surely his middle name's already D.
No, I think that's
Gino De Campo. Like, he's got I'm Alan D. Cochrane, if I wanted to be. I could add that, couldn't I? That'd be
Is
a
he
middle name.
Olive D? There's white D and black D. Is he like the Mediterranean version? My mate worked with a bloke who was called Darth Vader, who'd been changed by Deep Pol.
No.
And he said to him, so are you a big fan of Star Wars? He said, yeah, not
Star
really.
Wars, David.
Yeah. He said, not really. He said, the kids like it. Oh.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Frank, I got something of a surprise this week when I turned on my telly box.
Oh, yeah?
My goggle box, as I believe our Keith calls it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who should turn up? But only the old cockerel
Yes.
on Hignify.
He does do telly.
He does,
But,
he
obviously,
didn't say,
few and far
he didn't
between.
advertise that he was going to be on.
No, he never
I Got
told
News.
me he was on that. In fact, I only know from the fact that I was texted. Obviously, I was in Disneyland. They don't show it there.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And I got texted by Emily Dean saying, Alun was so good
I did.
on Have I Got News For You. It was a lovely moment.
Well, that
Yeah.
sounds like a nice version of a text. I mean, I was camping whilst it was being broadcast.
Gino De Camping?
I was Gino De Camping. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And my wife got a text from a friend of ours that said, beyond excited to see Alan's on Have I Got News For You.
Oh.
Not enough, though, is it? Like,
No.
It's beyond excited.
It sounds to me
there
like-
needs to be
No,
a
I
follow-up
know.
text of,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, what
he's
that is.
really being funny on it.
That's
Like,
the John the Baptist test. You're waiting for the Messiah to arrive
Yeah.
then.
That's the equivalent of when someone says to Frank, "Oh, I hope you enjoy the tour."
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Can't
glad
say
to...
that.
Or you look like you're having fun tonight.
Oh.
Oh.
Shut up. Get out. Get out. Go. Right out.
You see, I understand
I'm
the
glad to
psyche
speak
of
to people
talent.
that understand
Yeah, but
that.
this
I
was a
said the right thing, didn't I?
I know, but it was
Yeah.
to me.
No, but I said it
Oh,
to
no,
him
it
as well.
I know,
She
but it was the
texted me
fact that he
nicely.
came to me
Oh.
suggests a certain sincerity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Not something you'd associate with me often.
I also should have staggered a walk. I was walking my daughter into the school, and a guy that works in the shop round the corner went, "Did I see you on Have I Got News For You?" And I said, "Yeah, last Friday." But me and my daughter were already at a certain pace where I couldn't break my stride to then hear, "Well done on it, by the way." So I'd already gone. So that's it. There was no closure. Just, "Have I seen you on Have I Got News For You?" And I went, "Yes." And that was the end of the conversation.
What about when that cab driver, I was walking down the road and the cab driver shouted, "You're funny." And I've never, to this day, I never know whether it was extremely, whether it was a swear word, whether
Not
it was
remotely.
not.
Oh,
Yeah, I honestly thought about
Frank.
phoning the company and describing him. Has he ever mentioned Frank Skinner? What's he think generally? Do you have any idea? Oh, God, it plagued me for weeks. Anyway.
anyway.
Frank, I got so much.
Good son.
I mean, it was a full-time job dealing with Twitter, the Twitter inquiries
Was
and
it
comments.
really?
I've got
I
a few
think
here I'd like
that's
to share
true.
with you. If
Yeah,
that's
go
okay.
on, please do.
Oh yeah, okay. Emma, at Emma, I believe she's called.
I thought this was from Frank Bruno to you.
Love F. Bruno.
Yeah.
Emma said, hot and funny. Woohoo. Oh.
It was roasting in there.
I think she, as the other guest was John Prescott, we can be fairly confident she meant you.
I was
Keith?
perspiring.
Don't know if this is our Keith. Keith said, handsome, isn't he? Hashtag man crush developing.
Ah.
The sound of him.
Yeah.
I know what Alan's thinking. Not so much about nothing about me being funny in that one.
Well, I'm getting to these, don't worry.
Okay.
Sybil Disobedient said, Cockerell just dropped the F-bomb and I've never been more aroused.
Whoa,
It's like Kim Sears all over again.
Do you know Kim Sears?
No, but thanks for the tip.
It's all right.
Rusty Milkman said,
Okay.
that jacket, it's a good job he's funny.
Oh.
Now,
No.
I think that's okay because
That's
you're funny.
okay, yes.
Yeah?
Because, I mean, okay, so the tailor got a bad review, but you got a good one.
He went very French exchange student. You would.
Who did? The
My attire.
Yeah,
All right,
the Breton
we're reviewing
type.
my clobber,
It's
are we?
interesting, the jacket. It was very,
Here we go.
it was
Here we
sort
go.
of off-duty young Winston.
Here we go.
You know when he's in Africa in the desert, and he undoes the tunic when they're relaxing in the evening with the billiards and a glass of brandy. It's that kind of look. Because it's a jacket I've never seen in the studio. Let's put it that way. It's for best.
Oh, really?
It's too light a colour to wear for everyday wear, isn't it? It's staying up.
What do you think?
It's tan.
Did you buy it especially?
No.
Did they buy it for you to wear?
No.
Okay. Stick around.
He's
That's
only
when
kind
it
of-
gets good. Corduroy it was he?
It was a light corduroy, yeah.
Why are you so obsessed with the jacket?
I thought it was a lovely
And you?
jacket.
It was a
One
lovely
so
jacket.
rarely sees corduroy on panel shows.
Can we say the jacket was nice? You were also very funny.
If I'd have said to you, I'm going to watch Have I Got News for You tonight, one of the people's going to wear corduroy, you'd have put $1,000 on his lop. Turns out to be Cochrane. Come on.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Oh, yeah, so I watched it anyway.
Did you watch it
we're
on
back
the
onto
catch
the,
up?
I watched it on, Tomato Ketchup.
Don't watch iPlayer when you're over in Disneyland, Paris. Oh, the charges.
Oh, yeah.
No, I had no time for television. I was out with the boys and,
The boys,
Well,
what,
creatures.
Donald Duck.
yeah.
He means Chip and Dale.
Oh, I went on some rides. I took Buzz.
I hope they went on a follow the bear night out and Frank was the only one not in costume.
I did 22 rides in a day.
No.
Yeah.
Shut up.
A world record? Was it a world
Pretty good.
record?
That
You going
Viagra, it's amazing. No, I did. But I made one mistake. I took Buzz on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, I've been on that.
Right.
It's a bit for a
it's
2-year-old.
scary.
It is scary.
Yeah,
It's
it
dark.
is.
It's completely pitch dark. I mean, I thought Caribbean. I thought there'd be limbo. I thought there'd be limbo.
Right.
No, it's spooky in there, Frank.
No, it's properly
It's
frightening.
like Pete Doherty's flat in there.
And there's a bit where it just it drops. It's suddenly the boat. You're on a boat and it goes whoa down at the thing, and all these people were women in their 40s were screaming. I'd got a 2-year-old in the front. He said, "I want to get off now." I said, "There's something I need to tell you." Nobody gets off. Is what I said. I felt terrible. I mean, the worst I expected in
God's sake, I
Caribbean
wanna
was
get off
a
now.
few short pitch deliveries, but no. Oh, he was terrified. He was in tears when we got off.
Oh, no.
Oh, I felt so guilty about it. But, I mean, there are rides for his age, which he loved. Anyway, I watched Alun, and I thought you were very, very funny indeed.
You were.
And I'll tell you
Thanks,
something
guys.
that was very interesting. I actually found myself wanting you to do well.
That's
Right.
rare for you.
It's almost, well, I say rare isn't the word. I mean, I didn't want you to be brilliant, but I wanted you to do well. I usually, when I see comedians on the telly,
Yeah.
generally, there's one or two exceptions. Most of them, I want the bottom to drop out of their world. But I actually found myself wanting you to do well. I'm
I was rooting for
feeling
you.
a bit proud.
I was. He kept the brand intact.
Yeah, so that was a completely new experience for me.
He's one of the few funny men you like.
Yeah, lovely. So I'm not proud of that fact, by the way.
No, I know, but
But we have to be honest.
yet again, I love your honesty, Frank.
Remember that French poet who wrote about the very exclusive pleasure of watching a close friend fall off the roof of a house? I suppose that's the feeling that one gets.
Can I say, if I think 10% of the sheen was taken off, of the Michael Sheen was taken off, when I texted Alan, and it was quite glamorous, actually, saying to my friend, "You're doing so well on Have I Got News, I'm so proud of you." What's my response? "I'm away camping." I don't want to get that.
No.
I
I'm
just
being
wanted to
showbiz.
explain that I couldn't watch it.
That's the glamour element of the night down.
What about when he won Club Comic of the Year at the awards? And I texted him and said, "Congratulations." And he texted back, "Yeah, great that I'm still regarded as a club comic." Well, no, I didn't name it. You know what I mean? That wasn't my category. I was just trying to be nice. Very, perhaps a little, even at that far from the epicentre, a certain amount of rubble.
Skinner, Dean and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
Also in Disneyland, as we near the end of the show now, I started talking about Disneyland and thus I end that way. I think it was T.S. Eliot who said, "In my end is my beginning."
Well, let's hope so, given the way the quotes on the show have gone today.
Yeah.
One way to find out, of course, would be through Poetry News Update. And I have a Poetry News Update.
No.
Well, before you get to that, can I just say I've been inundated with tweets about this.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Any news?
Well, Rhubarb Grumble tweeted me a screen grab that said, "We have not received enough ratings of this app to display an average." He was looking for a rating.
Oh, okay.
He says that says it all, really.
Yes.
Dan says, "Not good news on the Poetry News Update," and then it had a grab saying last updated 2009.
Oh.
And then someone called Cassithor sent an email, which he took a screen grab of, saying, "From the Frank Skinner support group." And it said, "This application has not updated in weeks and we want answers."
Weeks? What, 2009? That's quite a lot of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, can I say that this action, that the people rising... Once again, the people have spoken. And what's marvellous is I had a little email from iTunes. You know iTunes?
Oh, yeah.
When I say iTunes, I don't mean don't you make my brown eyes blue. I only have eyes for you.
Yeah.
I mean, iTunes, the company, sent me £1.49 refund.
No.
but was there an explanation?
They just said, sorry, but this app is no longer operational.
Oh, Frank.
So, no harm done. A lot of waiting, obviously.
Yeah.
I did sit by that app, like Michael Barrymore sitting next to a telephone.
You've come out a bit stronger, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I think what doesn't kill you,
Sends you to prison.
yes, usually. But I still... The trouble is, I had it in my mind that I was going to have regular poetry news coming, and now no, I'm not, and nothing quite prepares
Couldn't
for
you
that.
just get the phone number of Benjamin Zephaniah or something?
Yeah, but he's an elusive character. I don't think he's got a landline. I'll be honest with you. I've tried to call him before. He's evasive in the extreme. I haven't had a chance to tell you about the Wild West show that we went to, but maybe next week. It was an interesting outcome that I certainly hadn't anticipated. Nevertheless, we come to that point. Thank you so much for listening today. And you know what? If the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Now, get out!
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.